Welcome, everybody. My name is Andrew Patricio, and over the last 30 years, I've run my own business, but over the last 20 years, I've been working with business owners just like you, encouraging them, motivating them, educating them on how to build a successful business. But the one thing I've realized is that often the best marketers are the people that build the best businesses. And so what I'm going to share with you today are some low-cost marketing ideas we can use to grow our business. Because the key here is that spending money on marketing is really easy. The key thing here is to get results. And I find that sometimes if we learn how to market our business without spending too much money, we have to be more creative. We have to be more innovative, and this makes you a better business owner. So I'm going to share with you today some ideas on how you do it or some tools you can use. And also I'm going to show you some case studies of how other business owners are doing it and ideas that you can copy. But let me just start off by discussing some marketing guidelines. I believe that if you stick to these guidelines, your marketing is going to be more effective. The first one is you've got to have a very clear idea of who your target market is. What customer can you supply better than anybody else? This is what you need to identify. The second thing is you need to create a marketing plan. And the reason I encourage business owners to create a marketing plan is that it gives you structure. It gives you focus. And if you don't have structure, you have chaos. And this is why developing a marketing plan is going to keep you on track and is going to keep you focused. The third thing is you must allocate a marketing budget. In the beginning of your business, you have more time than you have money. So spend more time marketing. But as your business grows, you need to allocate money. And usually we allocate 3 or 5, and even service business can allocate up to 10 or 15%. But you need to decide the number you're comfortable with, and you need to spend that money regularly. And that's going to help you build a brand and, more importantly, generate leads. So structure is key. Spending money on a regular basis is key to build our brand. Also, our marketing must be consistent. So you need to come up with a look. You need to come up with colors. You need to come up with standards. You need to do those things so that your marketing is consistent. Customers like consistency. And if you create a consistent color, consistent brand, a consistent look, your customer is going to feel more comfortable. And finally, you must be patient. This is how we want it to happen. We want to spend $100 on marketing today, and tomorrow we want our businesses to be full of customers. The reality is that often doesn't happen. Marketing takes time. It takes energy. It takes work to be very effective. So you've got to be patient. And I think those business owners that understand this are going to become more successful. So those are the first 5 things. The second thing is you need to have a marketing plan. And the reason you need to have a marketing plan is that it gives you structure and it gives you focus, as I mentioned earlier on. So over the years, we've used a whole lot of different models. But over the last year, I have been focusing more and more on simplifying business plans, simplifying marketing plans, because I find that often business owners are too busy to succeed. Because they're too busy to succeed, when people like me tell you to create a marketing plan or to create a business plan or to create a financial plan, it sounds a little bit overwhelming for us, especially if we're very busy. So what I've done is I've created a 1-page marketing plan, and I encourage all of you to use this. It covers all the key sections of marketing your business over a period of time. So let's use this example. Let's say I was creating a marketing plan for my business. I would go through each one of these headings. Firstly, what are my marketing objectives? And your marketing objectives can be things like increasing your traffic to your website, increasing your visitors from 1,000 to 2,000. It could be to grow your database. It could be to close more deals, for example. Let's say you're getting the leads, but you're not closing them. But the more specific you are about your marketing objectives, the better it is for you. Because if you've got a bit of detail, if you write down a bit of a couple of targets and goals, it's easier for somebody to guide you and help you to achieve those. So I encourage you to write down your marketing objectives and do it for a period of time. What I like to do is to do a marketing plan for 12 months and then come back and update it every 90 days. So write down what your marketing objectives are. The second thing you want to do is identify your target customers. And these could be one single group, it could be 2 groups, it could be 3 groups, but actually the less groups you have, the better it is for you. You want to be very, very clear on who your customer is, because then you can create marketing materials, you can create marketing campaigns that are far more effective, because you've got an idea of what customers you're going after. The third thing is you've got to be very, very clear on who your competitors are. Find the top 3 or the top 5 competitors in your market and know everything about them. How much they charge for their products or services, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses. You need to know these. This is going to make you a better business owner. I encourage you to check out your competitors. Competitors locally, competitors internationally, competitors in different parts of the country. This is what you need to be doing. The fourth thing is you need to be very, very clear on what value you offer customers. Why should customers buy from you? What is that one-liner, two-liner, that thing that you do better than anybody else? And the more clarity you have on this, the better it is for you. It's also going to be easier for you to tell customers why or what benefits they'll get out of doing business with you. The fifth thing is make sure that you're very, very clear on what marketing tools you are going to use to grow your revenue over the next 90 days or 12 months, whatever period of time you're doing it for. You really need to make a business decision about this. The sixth thing is your customer service. Every day of my life, will go into a small business and sometimes be really happy with the service and other times not be happy with the service. You've got to understand that customer service is one of our key advantages. Big companies cannot offer great customer service like we can to small businesses. So we've got to capitalize on that. We've got to make sure that our customer service is absolutely brilliant. The seventh thing is, what is your lead nurturing strategy? So when you get leads, what is the process? What is the follow-up time? What do you send them afterwards? The more clarity you have on this, the better it is for you. I want you to create a process. That's really what you need to be doing. And finally, the 2 things, what is your budget? So how much you're going to spend? And finally, what are your metrics? How are you going to measure the effectiveness of your marketing? We spent $100 on marketing, we got 2 leads. We spent $200 on marketing, we got 5 leads. We got to make sure that we have metrics so we can measure the effectiveness of our marketing. As a small business owner, you cannot afford to be spending money on marketing and not measuring the results. So you've got to identify marketing tools that you can spend money on, but most importantly, that you can measure the effectiveness of. If something is working, you want to keep doing it. If something's not working, you want to stop it immediately. You don't want to be spending money on marketing that is not working. So let's go through more specifics here. I've spoken a couple of times already about identifying your target customer. And the more specific you are, the better it is. And I encourage you to know your customer better than anybody else. Really understand your customer. Do some research and find the ideal customer for you. And it's the more clarity you have, the better it is for you. So know who your customer is. And when you know who your customer is, you can create marketing materials that target them specifically. In marketing, they use a couple of terms. And one of the terms that they use are psychographics. And I'm not crazy about, this whole mumbo-jumbo technical terms that people use. But really, this is quite an important one, that you understand the way your customer makes purchasing decisions. What influences her? What do you know about her? What does she do on a regular basis? What influences his purchasing decisions? The more you understand about what drives or what motivates your customer, the better it is for you. So let's think about some of your customers' interests, for example. You may write down things like, my customers are concerned with health and appearance. They want a healthy lifestyle, but they just don't have the time, which is a really common thing nowadays, is people are really busy. They know they should be going to gym, or they know they should be walking every day, or they know they should be running every day, and they just don't have the time. They've got to make time for these things. Customers, maybe you could say things like your customers enjoy going online in the evenings. They spend time on Facebook, or they spend time on Instagram, or they spend time listening to the radio. Whatever it is, the more information you have, the better it is for you. Because if you can identify this person, you can then target this person. Maybe your customer favors quality over price, which is ideally the customer you want to go after. You don't want to sell to customers that only focus on price. You want to find customers that allow you to make profit margin. Maybe you could say they're career focused but value time with family and like spend time with friends. So this could be like a profile of your customer. And the more clarity you have, the better it is for you. And how do you find these things out? By speaking to your customers on a regular basis. I encourage you, if you learn nothing else from this webinar, the importance on a regular basis communicating with your customers. And I'm sure all of you have heard of demographics. So we have psychographics and then we have demographics. And demographics are more, about their age and things like that. And for some of us, this is really relevant. We may, for example, create ads for 18 to 24. But the reality is nowadays, sometimes psychographics is more important. But let's use that example here that I have on the screen. So you might say, for example, we believe our customers are high income, people that earn more than average. You might even say, well, people that earn over 20,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 or 200,000, whatever it is. They're 55 to 64. They're double income families, so both partners will work. They drive luxury cars, and you would classify what luxury cars are. They eat organic food. They cook only on weekends. They eat out regularly, and they're healthy and fit. So a whole lot of examples of a profile you're creating of your ideal customer. Then you start thinking about what will influence their decisions, what colors work for them, what ads would work for them. All of these things are going to help you become a better marketer. So I encourage you to get out there, do your research, and find out as much as possible, as much as you can, about the potential customers that will buy from you if you're a brand new business, or if you're an existing business, about the current customers that are buying from you. And here's another exercise you maybe could do, is to come up with a graphic showing a photograph of a typical customer, their age, what influences their decisions, and the more details you have, the better it is for you. And again, these are great examples of how marketers focus on their customers. They come up with profiles and they create ads just for them. And you can do exactly the same thing. We call these buyer personas, the example I've shared with you on the screen. And it's a great example of how marketers target people. Now that you've identified your ideal target customer, your target markets, or the groups that you can sell to better than anybody else, your next step is focusing on what benefits do you offer customers. So let's say, for example, you're at an event and somebody said to you, why should we buy from you? This would be your answer. And I want you to think about this, because this is not an easy thing to answer. Because people are often going to ask you, they're going to say to you, why should I buy from you rather than your competitors? So this is how you come up with a value proposition for your business, is you think about what specialized knowledge and experience do you have that your competitors don't? What unique knowledge and experience do you have? Because you could then focus on this. You could say to your customers, we've been in business for 25 years, or we have a special expertise, or whatever it is. Those are the reasons customers buy from you, because they want benefits. They want you to solve the problem that they are having. Think about it. What do you do that is measurably better? You might say, if you use my product, you will save an extra 20 cents a day on your ink or whatever it is. If you use our service, we've calculated it'll save you $7,422 a year on your electricity, whatever. The more clarity you give the customers, the better it is. The more clear you are on what benefit you offer your customers, the easier it is going to be for you to sell your products or services. So how does your product or service help me save money, for example? Tell your customers what problem you solve. Because really, at the end of the day, you've got to understand what motivates your customer. They've got a problem that needs to be solved. They come to you. You solve this problem. And that is really what we are looking for on a daily basis. We are looking for products or services that are going to solve our problems. So think about this as a business owner. Is this easy to do? No, it can be very, very challenging. It can be very, very challenging to work this out. But here's an interesting example. I actually really like this author because she's really good at educating people on how to become better at sales. And this is her definition of a value proposition. A value proposition is a clear statement of the tangible results a customer gets from using your products or services. So if you can come up with a tangible, you can say, if you use our product or if you use our service, it'll save you time, it'll save you money, or whatever it is. It's outcome focused and stresses the business value of your offering. And this is what you need to identify. For example, you might say, we help retailers increase their online sales conversions by up to 58%. That's quantifiable. It's very, very clear to the purchaser exactly what benefit your product or service offers them. And the more clarity we have, the better it is for us. So think about this. And if you can come up with one sentence or one paragraph or one line, it would be brilliant. So let me give you a couple of examples that I have on my screen here. On the top left-hand side, we have Uber. I mean, if you think of Uber, if you've used it, you'll realize very, very quickly it's about a couple of things. It's about convenience. It's about making it easier to pay. It's about getting a receipt. It's about getting all those type of things. It's about seeing where the driver is. It's about having options, about trying different types of Uber. This is the key competitive advantages. This is their value proposition. This is what they do better than anybody else. And that is the reason they've grown so much. And we need to try and identify that thing. Or the second one here is FreshBooks, for example, small business accounting software designed just for the small business owner. Again, you can understand that these people are designing software specifically for people like you. They're very, very clear on who their customer is. So if you're a small business owner, this is what you want to try and say, and this is the people you want to buy from. You want to buy from people that are thinking about you, that make it more convenient. They create the product or service just for you. And we need to try and find statements like that. So your value proposition is something all of you should be spending time on. Is it easy to do? No. But once you get it, you can repeat it over and over again. It's going to make your marketing more effective. It's really interesting. Because I've done this for quite a long time, I remember years ago always focusing on the importance of word of mouth. And I've done this all the years of teaching a business owner how to market more effective, is they've got to understand the importance of word of mouth. Now, the interesting thing is years ago, all we really needed to concern ourselves with was people offline. The biggest challenge we have nowadays, not only do we have to concern ourselves with what people are saying about us in person, but also what they're saying about us online. And this is really key. You've got to understand that not only do you have people talking about you offline now, but you have people talking about you online. And this can work in your favor, or this can work against you. And I'm going to encourage you to look at it as an opportunity to improve your branding, to improve your credibility, and to improve your marketing. So if you want people to talk about you positively, there are a couple of things you need to do. Firstly is offer absolutely brilliant service. offer service better than anybody else. And this is your responsibility. It's your responsibility as a business owner to offer the service, and it's your responsibility as a business owner to educate your employees to offer the level of service that you want. So this is your responsibility. The second thing is always arrive on time. I've said this to many business owners over the years, is that showing up on time is sometimes the only reason you get the business. And this is a key thing, because a lot of times when we're dealing with trades, when we're dealing with professional people, we expect them to arrive late. It's a really bad habit. So I encourage you to make this a priority of yours. We're going to offer absolutely brilliant customer service. We're always going to show up on time. People are going to rave about our business because we do the job right, and because of that, they're going to give us testimonials and reviews. The key thing you need to understand, even when you ask people for testimonials and reviews, they won't always give it to you. And the reason is, I don't know what the reason is. They're busy, they're disorganized, whatever it is. But really, when a customer goes out of their way to go onto a site, or onto your site, or onto Yelp, or onto your Google page, whatever it is, and write a brilliant review, this is one of the best marketing tools available out there. So I encourage you to do this. I encourage you to offer great service. When your customers are happy, ask them to give you testimonials. Ask them to go to your Facebook page. Ask them to go to your Google page. And this could be really beneficial to your business because people trust testimonials and reviews. Let me give you a very good example. Now, this business on the screen is a massage therapist and chiropractor. Very, very competitive industry. In any city, anywhere in the world, if you travel around, you'll see a lot of massage therapists and a lot of chiropractors. And this was a really interesting example because this small business owner, he was on one of my live during the day training programs, and I said to him that if I was him, I would go around in his area, knock on people's doors and tell him that he'd just opened the business over the road, and they could come in for a massage, maybe a 15-minute free massage, and then book an event. And this is exactly what he did. And it's really interesting if you look at this. This is his Google page. Now, you've got to understand this costs him nothing, $0 to create this page. He's put a couple of photographs on there. He's got a map of his business. But look at this over here. There are 135 people saying wonderful things about him. 135 Google reviews, 5-star Google reviews. So if you're in his area and you're looking for a massage and you search for that, you know what, there's a very good chance that you will probably use his service. And the reason is because 135 people have said that his service is absolutely brilliant. So I want you to see this as an opportunity. If you have got a Google page, which all of you should have, encourage your customers to go there, give you a positive review, and write something nice about you. Why? It is really useful. And for those of you that are retail, you can use Yelp to do exactly the same thing. And this has been very, very effective for this business owner. It doesn't cost him money, takes a bit of time to set it up, but once it's set up, he can then, on a regular basis, once a customer's been in for a consultation, they've come out, they're happy, he can send them an email and say, please go to our Facebook page, or please go to our Google page, or please go to our Yelp page and give us a review. It costs the customer nothing, but it's really important for the business. So if any of you have got Facebook pages or Google pages or Yelp pages, encourage your customers to go and put reviews there. Encourage them to write reviews and say nice things about your business. So I like free or affordable marketing tools because you know what, those are the ones we can relate to, and those are the ones we're probably going to use. I really like email marketing, and the reason I really like email marketing, a couple of reasons actually. One, it's free or nearly free. If you're paying, it's affordable. And secondly, is you can measure the results. So I really like it. We can send out 50 emails, and we can tell exactly how many people opened up our email. And that, for me, is winning marketing. When you can send out 50 emails, you can measure that 5 people open it up, or you spend $20 and you can measure that you got 2 leads or whatever. That's the type of marketing I like. It is my favorite type of marketing. Marketing that is measurable, because once I realize what's working, I want to do that over and over again. And email marketing could be that thing for you. It's a great way of keeping in touch with people. You know, you can regularly communicate with them. You can educate them. So even if you, and you shouldn't be selling to them all the time. I like using the 80-20% rule. 80% of the time you should be educating them. The other 20% of the time you can market to them. But really, it's a great way to communicate to your existing database, people that have bought from you before. And I think this is the key thing. People that have bought from you before will probably buy from you again. And I want you to think about this. People that have bought from you before will probably buy from you again. If that's the case, you need to remind them to come back to your store. That's what you need to do. You need to remind them to phone your business. That's what we need to be doing. And the way we can do that is by creating a newsletter that we send out on a regular basis. Include a sign-up page on your website, because small business owners say, how will I grow my database? Well, you've got to be proactive. So put a sign-up form on your website so you give people permission, or people give you the permission to send them emails. You can do it on your Facebook page. You can do it on your website. These are the opportunities for you. If you're going to create an email newsletter, and I encourage you to do this, but only if you're going to keep it up. If you're going to create an email newsletter and just send it out when it suits you, it's probably not going to work. But if you create an email newsletter and send it out on a regular basis, this could be a winner for you. So create a newsletter. Include interesting, useful content. And here's the key. Your job is basically to find really interesting content that your customers would be looking for. You're going to find it for them, you're going to curate it, and you're going to send it to them. So this is what you're going to do, and they're going to like you for it. They're not going to always read your emails, but they're going to read them more often than other people's emails. So send it out regularly and personalize it. A lot of small business owners are using a tool like MailChimp to send out email, and the reason they use this, they can create really beautiful emails, they can address it to an individual, they can personalize it, and it's easy to work with. And in this case, I think up to the first 2,000, I believe it's the first 2,000 emails, you don't pay any money. So there's an example. You know, there's no excuses. Start doing it now. Start regularly sending out emails to potential customers or existing customers speaking about what you do. And one of our favorite businesses doing this is a business called HubSpot, and I encourage all of you to go and check them out. Go to their site, go and check out how they're doing it, and learn from them. Create a similar model for you. Create really good content that you can share with people. Create really good content you can put on your website. People can download it, and they will give you your email and give you permission to communicate with them regularly. Now let's go through some free marketing tools. I mentioned earlier on that I think when we've got a very small budget, it makes us more creative. It really does. We have to be more creative. We don't have an option. So these are the type of things you can take advantage of because you don't have too much money. The first thing is make sure that you offer things like free consultations. 15-minute, 20-minute, half an hour free consultation, no obligation. We'll come to your business and we'll show you how our product or service can improve your business. But the key thing here is when you go and visit that customer to give them their free consultation, your objective is to show your expertise. You're going to educate them on what product or service they should be buying, but it's really an educational. You're not going to try and sell to them. You're going to educate them. And because you educate them, they're going to buy from you because you've showed your expertise. So a free consultation is a great opportunity. The other one is a free demonstration. And just think of how many times you and I have bought products. We go to an event, somebody demonstrates how it works, and we buy the product and then we bring it home. So demonstrations work wonderfully. And obviously they're not going to apply to every single one of our businesses, but I want you to think, I want you to be creative and say, is there a way I can demonstrate my expertise? I can demonstrate how my product works. I can demonstrate how my service works. So the customer understands the benefit of using your product or service. The third one are free seminars. I encourage business owners, especially that sell services, to host free seminars on a regular basis. Why? They're a great opportunity to share your expertise, and people are going to come up to you afterwards and say, you know what, there was an interesting presentation. We're looking for somebody to build our website. Can you do it? So if I was in the website building business, I would regularly run seminars on how to build your own website, knowing full well that the customer will not build their own website. But my job is to educate them, share my expertise, then they're going to respond by coming to me and asking me to build their website for them. The other one is free samples. You know, if you go into your supermarket and they'll let you taste this and they'll let you taste that. Why? Because it works. That is exactly why they do it. So if you're selling something that people can taste, if you're selling something people can drink, something people can smell, make sure that you give them samples so they can test it, so they can try it. It removes the risk. The other one that always fascinates me is when I meet business owners that are running free ads on websites and getting a ton of business. And this is obviously not going to work for everybody, but I know many business owners out there that are finding these free websites, listing their businesses on there, putting promos on there, and getting customers. Really, in the beginning especially, you've got the time. Test these things. Try them out. Create a special link just for those cheap sites where you can post your ads and see if you get a response. If it works, keep doing it. If it doesn't, stop doing it. The idea here is to test, and this could be a winner for you. And I've seen a lot of business owners do a lot of deals on these sites. The next one is to write articles for blogs and magazines. And I encourage you to do that for a couple of reasons. One, it positions you as an expert. And secondly, it builds links back to your website. So if I blog on a regular basis, people are going to see me as an expert in my field. They can then read my content, click on it, and it brings it back to their site. So if you're a good writer or if you have access to a good writer, I encourage you to do this. On a regular basis, write really good content and share it with other sites. List your business on online directories. And you've got to understand, this is not going to bring you millions of dollars of business. But there are a lot of these free directories where some of them are industry specific, some of them aren't, where you can post your business, post a link to your website, your phone number, and this is not going to bring you tons of business, but at least it's going to bring you some business. And it's also going to create an awareness of your business. You want to create a footprint on the internet so that people find you and they come back to your business. And that's really what you want to do. The other one is speaking at conferences. I don't know if any of you online have ever spoken at a conference, but I've spoken at a lot. Over the last 20 years, I've spoken at many conferences in different parts of the world. And the reason I do it is very, very simple, is that I get business from it. That's the reason, the only reason I do it. I'll be presenting at a conference, speaking on a topic that I'm really interested in. People will approach me afterwards and say, hi, Andrew, enjoyed your topic. I noticed that you run workshops for small business owners on finance, for non-financial businesses. Are you interested in working with us? And this is how I get a lot of my business. And I know that a lot of people selling services use this exactly the same way. They speak at a conference, they build relationships with people, and then they get the business. And I encourage you to do this if it fits in with your business model. If it fits in with what you're selling, your product or service, I encourage you to do that. Another great thing is to give away coupons. And again, I've got a really good idea here. The same clinic that I was speaking about earlier on, this is the one that he's created. That if you refer a business, you get a $20 discount and they get a $20 discount. What a great way to bring people into your business. It costs him no money, but it brings customers. Obviously, he makes less revenue on the first time they come into his premises, but he's going to offer them great service. He's going to, give them a great massage, all of those things, and they're going to keep coming back. And you focus really on the lifetime value of your customer rather than the immediate amount they're spending, which is a really creative way and a really simple way for you to grow your business. So I encourage you to copy some of these ideas. The other one is to enter business award competitions. The really interesting thing I've found over the years is that business owners that enter these competitions, business plan competitions, business person of the year competition, small business of the month competition, whatever it is, businesses that enter these competitions often get a ton of free publicity. So try it out. It may not work for you, but try it out anyway and see what will happen. You can also host free events. A lot of us have boardrooms, we have training rooms, or we have access to boardrooms or training rooms. Why not host a free event? And again, use it as an opportunity to network, use it as an opportunity to meet potential customers, use it as an opportunity to meet existing customers, but really a great opportunity. Another one is build a referral network. And again, this is a really clever idea where you either pay people for a referral or they do it out of good faith. But on a regular basis, do not be afraid to ask your happy customers. Say to them, do you know somebody else that needs our products or services in this region, in this industry, in this city, in this town, whatever it is? So build a referral network. Make partnerships for co-promotion. This is such a great opportunity. I'm running a training program now, an evening training program that I run over 5 weeks. And I run it in partnership with a city. And the reason is that it gives me instant credibility. And these are some of the opportunities for you. So if you can find a larger company to partner with you, is a great opportunity. Or find somebody, even if it's a small business, that sells to a similar target market as you. And if you trust them, you can send their information to your database, and they'll send you can send your information to their database and vice versa. And I had the same example this afternoon. I was speaking to somebody early on in the day, and she runs networking events, and I run training programs. And she said, I'm going to refer some people to you. And I said, I'll do the same thing. Your networking events are well attended. I'm going to refer people to you. And these are the type of things you can do, is you can build relationships with other businesses that can promote your business. The other thing you can do, especially those of you that have online businesses, is set up an affiliate program. So let's use an example. Let's say you sell, peanuts. What I do is I put a link on my blog to your website, and then I send traffic to your website to buy peanuts. They can track this, and you can tell how many leads you got from our site. Again, it's a great way to pay people some money to send business to you. It's good for them, it's good for you. And the other opportunity is join groups on LinkedIn. I think this is a great opportunity to connect with people, to build relationships, and eventually to sell them some of your products or services. So think about these things. You do not have to spend money. Obviously, if you've got money to spend, it's a wonderful thing. But if you don't have money, you can still market. I actually think you become a better marketer when you got $0. You've got to understand that marketing is really about getting noticed. It's about standing out. It's about people noticing you. And if you understand this basic principle, it's really going to help. It's the way we do things. We put up a sign and we put balloons up next to it. We put up a special offer sign. We have specials every day. I had a very good example. I was working in a small city yesterday, and there was a really cool coffee shop. Everybody said to me it was a really cool coffee shop. But every time I walked past, I wasn't sure if the store was open or not. And I said to them, if they just put up a sign on the road or on the sidewalk, this would be really, really beneficial. Yesterday I walked past, they had a sign there. I don't know if I had any influence or somebody told them, but the reality was that if I walk past your coffee shop and there's a big sign that says open, there's a much better chance that I'm going to walk in. And, these are simple little things that we can do that help us generate more revenue. You've got to understand the power of putting up that sign, today's special, or putting balloons and getting noticed. This is what you need to do. Here's another example. I regularly go down to Florida, and I'm always fascinated with these people standing on the side of the road drawing traffic. You know why people do this? Because it works. Or the example on the left-hand side, where I have my place in Florida, along this road, there are two dive shops. The one on the corner, which has a better location, and this one in the middle of the block. But I promise you, this one here does much more revenue. And the reason is that you can't miss him. You're driving past on the US 1, you're going to see this guy straight away. And this is exactly the type of marketing you want to do if you're in retail, is you want to get noticed. You really want to get noticed, so do everything possible to get noticed. Whether it's online, whether it's offline, that is your objective, is to get noticed. Because I've got to notice you first before I buy your product or service. I'm sure every single one of you online, I've heard from marketers that we need to develop educational content. And I encourage you to do this. And there's a couple of reasons. One, because it draws more traffic to your business. The other one is that it makes you a better business owner. You know, when you are thinking about what topic you're going to write or what video you're going to create, you're really thinking about your customer. You're thinking about your customer and thinking, what does this customer need? What content can I create that can educate this customer so that they can come and buy my product or service? So, I encourage you to blog on a regular basis. Why? Because your customers are going to read it, it's going to build up credibility, and it's going to draw traffic to your business. On your website, create really good educational content, whether it's written, whether it's videos, whatever it is. On your Facebook page, on your YouTube channel, all of these social media channels want really good content. And there are a lot of people doing a great job. When you're not sure what to write about, there's a link at the end of the page. Answer the Public. It'll give you the most read articles when it relates to your business. Again, a great resource for you. The other thing you want to do is to build an online community. But just be very, very careful. Just because you've got 500 likes on Facebook doesn't mean you're going to make money out of it. But I really think having a good online community can be really beneficial. The reason is you can use this to your advantage. If you want to ask your customers questions, if you want to give them some advice, if you want to share some content with them, you've got a space to do that. If you've got questions you like to ask them, you can do that same thing. You can go to all your Facebook followers and ask them a bunch of questions. Go to your Twitter followers, ask them a bunch of questions. Go to people on your LinkedIn profile and ask them a bunch of questions. So I encourage you to build an online community. But just be very, very careful. Be very careful of thinking that it's lots of likes that you need. It's not about having lots of likes or a lot of users. It's really about having the right people reading your content. And that is going to be your focus. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Develop great, useful content that people want to read, and then they'll join your community. Otherwise, they won't. You know, I have heard many times of small business owners that spend money on Google Ads and Facebook ads, and these are two great opportunities for you and I to market our business. They are great opportunities. But the reality is that often things that are really easy aren't the most effective. So this is my advice to you. Before you spend a single dollar on Facebook ads, before you spend a single dollar on Google Ads, is go and educate yourself. And if you're not that way inclined, you know what, get somebody to do it for you. Because it's so easy to waste money on Google AdWords. It's so easy to waste money on Facebook ads. Often it pays us. It pays us to pay somebody to do it for us. So go and find somebody in your community that you trust to help you with this. It's going to make you a better business owner, and you're going to get more results. I've seen quite a few business owners get brilliant results from things like Facebook ads and things like that. But again, it's got to be done properly. That is the thing. It's got to be done properly. If you don't do it properly, it's not going to be as effective. So go and educate yourself before you spend money. Don't spend money and then educate yourself. Educate yourself first and then go and spend money. What about flyers and things like that? I think they can be still very effective. Actually, I was running a training program on Saturday morning for young people, and this guy does landscaping services. Actually, his main focus is cutting grass now in the summer. And he did a great job of creating a card, or like a postcard. That's a better explanation. He created this really beautiful postcard that he distributes. And really, it was really simple. You know, do you need your grass to be cut? Call us on this number. Those things are still very, very powerful. As long as you know who your target market is and you distribute them wisely, that is the key thing. So if you want flyers to work, make sure that you have a great offer. Make sure that you use headlines that attract me. If I'm your target market, your headline's got to attract me. Use interesting images, photographs, graphics, use color, and have a strong call to action. Call us now. This special, only available till the end of the week or whatever it is. But you've got to be very, very specific. This can work brilliantly, very effective, and it works if done properly. Here's a very good example. I really like this one. I found it online, but it's a really simple example. Boxing lessons. If you were looking for boxing lessons, this would attract your attention. If you weren't looking for boxing lessons, this would not attract your attention. And really, that's the key thing. You want your ideal customer that is looking for your product or service to see this. And that is a winner in marketing. What about your website? And these are the last couple of slides. When it comes to your website, keep it up to date. Make sure that it looks absolutely beautiful on a mobile phone. Because nowadays, people have smartphones. That is where they are using them more and more, and that is where they're going to check your business out. So make sure that your website is responsive. So when I go onto my phone and I check out your website, it's really easy to see, and that is the key thing. So ensure that it's responsive. Ensure that the layout is very, very simple, and that goes hand in hand with responsiveness, because the more detail it has, the more difficult it is to see on our mobile phone. And you've got to understand this, that your objective is for people to actually see your ad and respond to it. Include testimonials on your website. You know, maybe have a couple of case studies. Have a couple of nice things that people have said. And the more evidence you have, the better it is for you. So just having a testimonial could be a waste of time. Having a testimonial with a photograph and a link to the person, even better. This is why I like Facebook testimonials, because then they've got a link back to a human being, because otherwise people are a bit nervous. Maybe they wrote these themselves, and these are the opportunities. So include testimonials. Develop an online marketing plan. You've got to understand the importance of this. Having a website's an absolute waste of time. Having a website that gets visitors is what you want. And this is the key thing, is that people say to me, is having a website important? And I say no. Having a website where that people visit is what you want. So that is the key thing, is getting visitors to your website. That's something you've got to spend time on. Build landing pages, specific pages for specific campaigns that you're running, so you can measure the effectiveness of your marketing campaigns. Add great content and remove the garbage from your website. This is what you need to do. So here are a couple of examples of websites that I like. Again, that brand FreshBooks that I mentioned earlier on, a great brand. And here's another one, sells beef biltong, the best beef biltong in the world according to them. And there's an example. Very, very simple website, easy to navigate, easy to see on your phone, and most importantly, easy to buy their product. And that is the key thing. You want things simple. Here are a couple of great resources for you. And if you send me a slide, if you send me an email, I will send you a copy of these slides, and then you can get these resources. But these are a lot of free resources that can help you with your online marketing, with creating headlines, with doing local search, with creating keywords to make your website better optimized, to create images, and a lot of these tools are for free. So I encourage you to check out this list and use some of these tools, or at least check them out so they can make you a more effective business owner. So let me just summarize. To make your marketing effective, there are a couple of really key things you need to do. Number one is identify your ideal customer. That is the first thing. Identify your ideal customer. Secondly, differentiate your product or service. You've got to make sure that you offer unique products and services. If you don't do that, your customers are going to go to your competitors. Develop a marketing plan. Use that really simple template that I showed you earlier on. Use a really simple template like that, and you can target people directly. Keep it simple. Easy to understand, easy to work with, and everybody in your business will follow it. Build a brand. Ultimately, that is what you want to do. And this is why we cannot stop marketing. Whether we're busy or we're quiet, we keep marketing. This is how we grow a business. Offer absolutely brilliant service, beyond what anybody else offers, and get testimonials. Ask people to go to your Facebook page. Ask people to go to your Google page. Ask people to write things down for you about how great your service is. Build a database of emails. Understand that once you have a big enough database, you just keep marketing and educating those people. Use free online marketing tools. There are so many tools out there nowadays, but just be very careful. Don't just use it because it's free. Use it because it's effective. And develop educational content and share. I believe that if you stick to these basic principles, you're going to become a better business owner, because that's ultimately what you want to do. You want to build a successful business. And to build a successful business, you've got to be good at marketing. There is no other way. And that is what I wish for every single one of you online, that you use these marketing tools, that you build an absolutely brilliant business that you love working in every single day. That is my wish for you. So use this information, build a very successful business, and I'll be very happy.